Welcome everybody to another mini-sode of Capes and Scowls. Today we're going to talk about somebody that I know Jamie enjoys, and I also enjoy a lot of his work, although Jamie is probably the expert on this, but writer, mainly a Marvel writer, Christopher Yost. Now, Yost has had a very unusual career, in the sense that he started in 2002 as an intern over on the West Coast for Marvel, and almost immediately found success. He had spec film scripts that he showed the execs at Marvel when they hired him, and they said, these are really good, especially for, intern off the street. Why don't you write some episodes of X-Men Evolution? Which was... it was one of the... what was that? The newest X-Men cartoon since the 90s one that ran forever. And this one ran, I think, like 3 seasons. Not bad. So in 2003, he got that. He got X-Men Evolution with Craig Kyle, who's his frequent collaborator and artist. But perhaps most famously, they co-created with each other a New Mutant. They created X-23, the female clone of Wolverine. And for only the second time in comics history that I'm aware of, the first time being Harley Quinn, that a character created for an animated show became part of regular continuity. And that's a pretty big deal. That's an accomplishment only Paul Dini, I believe, did. So it's really awesome. And they were impressed by the reception. They threw her in. They gave her a 6-issue mini called X-23 Innocence Lost. And then he went on to work for New X-Men. So Yost has done a ton of Marvel work with X-Men characters. And we'll go down a couple of his many books in a minute. But very much tied to X-Men and X-23, which of course he did a good job with her because she ended up getting her own series as well as another mini-series. Something you might not know he did was he wrote Ender's Game, which was Orson Scott Card, who has that whole Ender's Game series of novels. He's, this old sci-fi writer. It was a really big deal they did these books with him. I did not read all the books. I think I might have one lurking around here. But it was a big deal, and I'm sure it was an honor for him to do that. Stephen King and people like that really hadn't teamed up with Marvel at this point. But you could say that, this along with The Dark Tower really helped that along. So that's something you might not think of to credit Yost with. Now, being known so much for X-Men, you might not know it, but he's done work outside of Marvel, including for DC. He wrote the first year of Red Robin, issues 1 through 12, which were really good. And through, the weight of that, the character got another year or so before DC did this whole relaunch. And it was really good storytelling for Tim Drake, a character that's up and down, He also did the series Killer of Demons for Image Comics, which I believe was 3 issues. So, his main, I guess he's mainly known for his X comics now, but he's also written a ton for cartoons because of his X-Men Evolution fame. He has written for the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles on Fox. He's written for The Batman. He was story editor and head writer for The Fantastic Four, which was on Cartoon Network in 2006, that Fantastic Four. As well as Iron Man Armored Adventures, which I think is on Disney XD, as well as The Avengers Earth's Mightiest Heroes, which is doing phenomenal, I'm told. So he still does really good in animation, and he's very tied to X-Men characters. It's good The Avengers is doing well, the Avengers cartoon, because he really picks different characters. Like the leader is a major Hulk villain, but no one knows the leader, so for him to throw him into a cartoon, I think, is brilliant. Because if he does it correctly, which I'm told he did, I did not see the episode with the leader. I've only caught a handful of episodes, but from what I've seen, he really took a good approach to it. And the fact that he's showing these old characters and interweaving them with current kind of topics and storylines. He's showing children and teenagers and just people who didn't really pay attention to comics, who might be getting into it because of the Marvel movies or whatever the case may be. He's really, demonstrating some characters that you would not know otherwise. It's kind of like, now this is kind of funny because I want to compare it to The Batman, which he also wrote on. And I don't know if his hands were tied on that one because it felt like every episode had the Joker in it. Every single episode. And it was really kind of boring in my eyes. I really didn't get into that series. I thought it had a good style, a good look. I think the animation department was the guys who did that Jackie Chan cartoon. So it was good, but he just had so much Joker. It was the Joker with the dreadlocks, and his shirt was like a straitjacket. It was a cool design. It was something different, but it just, like I said, too much of a good thing is a bad thing. So I'm going to run down several of his issues. Now, he's done, like I said, a tremendous amount of X-Men. He's worked on X-Force. He did issue 1 through 28 with Craig Kyle, and that was from 2008 to 2010, I believe. He did X-Force Cable Messiah War, X-Force Sex and Violence. So he's very tied to X-Force, X-23, all her stuff. Ton of X-Men. He did 26 issues of new X-Men. He did the X-Men Emperor Vulcan miniseries. He did X-Men Origins Colossus. He did X-Men Kingbreaker, X-Men Worlds Apart, the Psylocke miniseries from 2009, Nation X, Second Coming, To Serve and Protect. He's just done so much. And if you go through his credits, a ton of these are with Craig Kyle, which is really kind of neat. To get another team, there's only so many teams that actually are a big deal, in my opinion. Other things he's done at Marvel, with Ender's Game we mentioned. Mostly he's done just individual issues, or, one-shots, like Wolverine Killing Made Simple. He did one of the stories in that. He's done Spider-Man, he's done Runaways, he did a little bit of work with Secret Invasion. So, he's all over the place. He's even done some Spider Island work, which I'm not too... Not expecting anything major from that. He's done Fear Itself as well. For DC, like I said, Red Robin. He did an issue of Titans, and he did a little bit of Batman when they were doing the Battle for the Cowl storyline. And that is most of his credits. He doesn't have a tremendous amount of credits because his time is so divided between comics and animation. So he's got a ton of animation credits, and he's been working on X-Men now, and it's been great. For like I said, it's one of the main reasons I pick up X-Men now is to read him, because I've never been a big X-Men guy. I've kind of been unable to attach myself to any one team. So good for you, Christopher Yost. Jamie loves you. I think you're probably his favorite writer. And I definitely respect the hell out of you. So, this has been a Capes and Scowls comic creator. I know we don't do those too often, but, Yost was an easy one. God damn it, that's why it got done. And he's relevant. So there you go, comic creator with Christopher Yost. Thanks once again for checking us out. We're on iTunes now, if that's not where you found this. We're also on the site, capesandscowls.com. We have some other things in the works. All right, everybody. See you later.